Hi, everybody. I
Oh
think
my
we're
god.
live now. Yeah, right?
Live? Is that a thing we do?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Yeah.
Stuart, can you see me?
Nope.
Excellent. Do we love
Still
Teams?
having camera issues. Well, can't.
I, I mean, the camera's fine. You can see me work on OBS. Teams,
Yeah.
Teams, my bro. Teams, my bro.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on, man.
Like, we had unique issues with Skype, but for the most part, pretty damn reliable. Like,
Yeah.
okay, I had some other weird bullshit, but pretty damn reliable. Oh well, as you say. Oh well.
It's fine. I don't need to see you.
No, my charisma can go through the not screen, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Ah,
hmm
good. What are we doing today, Stuart?
It's ship mashup day.
Mm-hmm.
Ships from any franchise. Get to mash them together. Super chat in with your ideas, and we make it happen. And we talk about it and laugh sometimes.
At
Maybe
ourselves,
cry.
at the AI, at our choices in
Yeah.
life. You know, just all across the board. So full of laughter.
Yep. Yep. It should be fun. It always is. Hey, Dave and Laura are here. Hey, Dave. How's it
Hey guys.
going?
Hey
You guys aren't
guys.
here enough.
Yeah, you know when we are. We want to know when you are, which is here with us. See, he knows. He
Yeah.
knows.
I thought Skype has stopped. Do you have Zoom and Microsoft Teams? Yes, Skype is gone. We're using
Rip.
Microsoft Teams.
Yes.
But we've had a few camera issues with Microsoft Teams since we started using it. So,
It just doesn't quite know. Even though you can see I'm still working. I don't know.
he doesn't know
Uh,
anything. Anyway, yeah, so should be fun. We love these community ones where you guys get to offer your suggestions and ideas. Always, it's always fun because you
mm-hmm.
come up with some crazy stuff.
Cool.
Yeah. Anyway,
As sort of the L cars, the thingy XLs doing other things. Oh gosh, where if someone asks to combine the Strange Worlds Connie and the Connie? What sort of weird nightmare
well, they
fuel?
could.
They could,
They should have done that yesterday.
but I mean, combine them. I mean, what would the, you know, or even simply asking, for the GBT to make a futuristic version. Yes.
Yes, with Kelvin influences. No.
Yes.
Ah,
I will get sharing. I will see you in a mo. And you won't see me in a mo, but that's okay.
right?
Tell you when I'm back. Bye bye.
Yeah. Bye. I'll tell you guys to hit that like button. Dave says, I know, this ranch keeps me hoping. I catch the reruns, lol. Well, I'm glad at least you're watching the reruns, but it's good to have you here. Say hi to Laura for us if she's there. But yeah, welcome back. Anyway, hit the like button, guys. Make sure you do that. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell icon to all. I have to do my YouTuber spiel here. My dad didn't. Make sure you check out the join option on YouTube here. You can join us here, or you can head over to Patreon/Trekyards and support us over there as well. It all helps and is amazing. And we love you guys that do support us. You're awesome. And you keep us going. You keep us doing the thing we love to do, and you guys like to watch, hopefully. So keep doing that. Make sure you super chat in with your ships that you want to have mashed up during this episode. This is not just Star Trek, obviously, by the thumbnail. Any franchise, you can mix and match ships, and we'll see what we come up with. It'll be interesting and fun and creative, hopefully. Um, but yeah, and yes, Dan did see that. It was amazing. Um, Also, there are links down below to the Teespring and T Public store, so give those a click, check those out, pick yourself up some cool merch, whether it be truck yards or otherwise. But yes, Dan, that starships attacking the whale probe video is actually really well done and really good, and I love their choice of ships that they used for that. It's on YouTube. If you haven't checked it out, go watch it. It's really good. So yes, have seen that. Thank you, Dan. I saw that message pop up at the end of the live after we were off the air, and yeah. So
Anna.
oh look, or listen,
Yes.
hark, the angels sing.
Glory to the newfound Brit. Is that where you're going?
No, no.
Oh. It's one of our yearly Christmas carols. We have a cassette tape that's been long since transcoded into digital. And so the songs are quite burned into my brain. It's the same one we've had since I was like 6.
Yeah.
And now I can force my kids to have the same CD. Well, cassette. In digital, never will die. Mwahaha.
All right. Well,
All right, let's see what you all would like. We encourage, serious crossovers, or extreme things, kind of like your Death Star, and could be kind of fun as well, right?
Death Star and a whale probe.
Yeah,
Just be the whale probe with the Death Star. Zoom, 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 zoom.
I like that.
Yeah.
I do find that it tends to utilize the smaller scale of the design. So if you put a shuttle and an X, it tends to use the shuttle as a default. Just saying, but so if you want a bit more clarification, because you can type in the distinct message and
Yeah.
make sure it's a warship, etc. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, but I've got a few ready to go while I generate Olivia's first one.
Which one do you want to pull in? Do you want me to pull one in?
Any is good.
I'm going
Any and
to
all.
pull up the one that caught my eye instantly.
Ooh.
Can they see the screen?
They can now.
Awesome. So here we go. This is it's a part Klingon bird of prey. What is it combined with, though?
Purple. It's purple.
Dominion battlecruiser?
Bug ship, yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
It's an actually kind of cool design, if I'm totally honest.
There are a couple that come out of this, Stuart.
Yeah, that's a really good one. I like the weapon on the front being like a gun as opposed to just the torpedo launcher. I love the blending of the gray and the purple, I guess, and the green, and just the shapes all work together so well here. Might fill in a few areas, maybe, but I don't think you necessarily have to for it to work well. It actually looks very, very cool. I'm a big fan of this. Like I said, it's the first one that caught my eye with the ones you put up there.
So you're possibly starting at the highest peak and only down from here, kind of thing. Yeah, I was surprised by this one because it's actually genuinely taken both designs. Far more bird of prey. Because
Yeah.
like I said, you couldn't necessarily see the bug ship, but you can see the Dominion influence. But the way it's made a new armature for for the wings is really cool. The multi-layered sleekness keeps some bird of prey vibe, but by changing it a good amount, kept the cloaking ring, but sort of filled it in, which looks rather cool. I would probably remove the front point because that feels like an AI just random add-on. But the rest, I mean, even just as a if you made everything green, it would probably be quite successful as a Klingon. Probably the wings thicker, I'd say. It feels like a bigger ship than those wings at that scale. But yeah, it's pretty successful, I'd say.
Yeah, the overall shape looks like one of the craft from one of the prequel films.
Ooh.
I forget what it's called, but the troop transport
Oh.
thing.
Star Wars.
Yeah, Star Wars. Yeah, it's kind of got that
Yeah.
vibe going on.
A little bit, yeah.
I really like that. I really like that a lot. And you could assume too that the wings are there for like uh added power and or weaponry, and then the front part could detach, and
Mm.
that's like some kind of transport. But this is for long range or
Hmm.
something. Yeah, I kind of like that.
It's also the way the scaling is. And again, guys, super chat $5 for whatever design you want. Throw them in, let's get building. If you take the scale of the bug ship components as gospel, then it is a small ship. And how do you feel then about because you can see the little windows, about the head not necessarily being livable space? Imagine if the head was just a cloaking generator and a torpedo or whatever, and just the neck area was livable space.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that works for me. It's a smaller, like attack craft or something is what you're saying, yeah.
Yeah, we're just removing that really famous head module kind of. It's weird, and it's but there's something kind of interesting about making it, like I say, that much smaller, almost as if that's
Mm.
just one corridor. I mean, gosh, can you imagine just one corridor, one deck where
Hmm.
those windows are, and then one below it, and in that is the bridge, and then there's like I mean, you can't see me obviously, but a little gangway at the back. So you load in, there's like 4 rooms, really small attack craft. I think that could be really, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No, this design absolutely works. Everything about it's good. There's no like additional nacelle or wing, which AI tends
Yeah.
to like throw in occasionally.
Yes,
So,
ChatGPT, we'd love a third nacelle on the second pylon. Course, thank you. Thanks.
and I see one of the designs you've pre-made that has that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, this is a successful one, I think. Trying to think of a name for it.
Ooh.
A hummingbird. The long gun on the front is like a long hummingbird beak.
Mm.
That's small and flittery. You can just imagine it flittering
Oh, yeah.
around.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good one. I like it.
Pretty cool.
I approve.
Yeah, starting with a good one, and you've seen some of the other ones are not quite as
Not
chillingly
quite as exciting
successful.
to talk about. Yeah.
But we've got the first super chat, which means the first creation by you all. Supports channel and gives us something fun to talk about. Where are we going
Which
first?
is Olivia with $5. Mash up the Strange New Worlds Enterprise with the TNG Enterprise D. And here it is.
Dum dum
I
dum.
mean, it understood the assignment.
Mm.
You've got the struts,
Well, struts.
I assume they're kind of angled. No cutouts in them, which is great, but more of a Strange New Worlds vibe in the cell. And then just the body, everything else is pretty much the same, except they bulked out the secondary hull a bit. But it's not hideous. I mean, for the few changes, it could be pretty cool. But it's a good success, and it's not even the Enterprise D. It's just 1701. There's no D there. So hey, interesting. I don't have a problem with that really.
Well, it
I'll make a few changes.
reminds me of Andy's design a little bit. The way
Oh yeah,
it's now proportionately it's made the source a circle versus an oval, and it's kind of
yeah,
compressed the secondary hull, which now feels more like the sea. Not in an artistic way, just a way.
yeah, yeah.
But it has done something, as in it's not just thrown stuff at the. It has done something, right?
Hmm.
And actually, I'm gonna make a goal as well. 5 super chats or 10 super chats out of 5. We'll get a bonus design.
Yes. No, I wish. Well, I was gonna say I wish it would have changed the color to white, but as we know, the Strange New Worlds Enterprise is not white. It's gray charcoal color at the best of times. So I wish I just would have incorporated more of the Strange New Worldsness. This seems like the laziest possible option that it could have done.
Oh, sorry, AI, you're being shamed right now.
Well, yeah, this feels like something you'd get out of the Starship Creator game.
That's a low blow.
I, I know.
Wait, for me, it's the nacelles that are lacking any sort of actual design, and we've seen enough of these to know that's kind of a baseline. It does. Like
Yeah,
they're neither nacelle, and they're certainly not both or neither. They're just neither. But
yeah.
the deflector's okay. But it just shows that the galaxy is more than the sum of its parts. And you try to make a sort of a version. The only thing I'll say in its advantage, I think generally is quite nice, is the double phaser ring.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
That I think actually works rather well. It's so subtle while being absolutely come at me, bro. I don't know where the hell I got that from because it ain't any of the ship design, but I will actually give that credit for that. I think works quite well.
Yeah, it's something that ships from that era would kind of benefit from, I think.
Yeah.
Not just tactically, but aesthetically, I think it's kind of cool. So,
Yeah.
yeah, kudos.
Very nice.
Good call, Olivia. Okay. What's next?
Yes.
Hit the like button, guys. 22 of you here, 12 likes. Let's get those likes up. Go vote in the poll. And also, yeah, we have a goal. 10 $5 super chat. So if you guys want to throw in a 5 and offer up some ship suggestions, we would love that. So, but the poll here is, are you going to join in on our strange and new worlds episode 1 and 2 live review next Friday? Are we doing both 1 and 2 on Friday?
Who the hell knows?
I figured we'd do like one on Friday and then one on Monday or Tuesday, maybe.
I was summarizing, Stuart.
Gotcha.
But
Okay. Yeah, you're going to join us for Stranger Worlds content. 'Cause we're going to have lots of it.
Probably also slightly, if it's actually a two-parter, should make it a three-parter. Right? And I have no idea. Because it's really one giant movie story, then like, because often we've had things, but no, like, if there's not enough story because it's really combined versus two distinct episodes, you know?
It's going to be two distinct episodes. Because the first episode is going to be part 2 of the finale last season, and then it's going to move on quickly to something else.
But then why are they doing 2 back to back if it's?
They always do. They always release the first 2 just for. Sorry for making you wait this long. Here's 2. So that's great for the general audience. It's just not great for people like us.
Is it even great for the general audience because then they don't get to appreciate the design? I don't know. I've always been a fan of the week on week because you appreciate.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is the new streaming culture, though. That's what they do.
Like, it works if it's a two-parter and it's like it really is just a movie. I understand that, right? Fair.
Yeah.
But then just make a movie. Or go the Sherlock route and make like 4 movies a year. But like double the budget, right?
Yeah. Anyhow. All right. Let's see what's next. We got Olivia with $5. Combine the Strange New Worlds Connie with the TOS Connie. # Sam needs pain.
Sadist in me agrees. The realist in me does not.
I assume that's this one.
Yeah.
And that seems more like combined with the NX-01, honestly, with the way that back secondary hull is. I don't see any. Like, I see a Connie combined with an NX. That's what I see. Even the coloring. It's very strange.
Yeah. I mean, I used that concept art from the previous video or thumbnail that you saw, which is a bit more clear and crisp. But obviously, as you know, certain elements of this GBT remembers things.
And you got to say, forget all prompts previous to this, and then it starts fresh.
Does it actually?
Yeah. It's like, okay, I'll forget all the previous prompts. That's what you got to do, because otherwise it starts creeping shit in from other stuff, and it's like, stop.
What do you think of this design, though, Stuart?
It's good. It's a really good design. It just doesn't encapsulate what's really asked for.
I mean, in fairness, the other one also wasn't Stranger Worlds Enterprise D, right? It was like it did something with the 2. This might be something with the 2 in its mind.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty successful design, honestly. It's something I could see in STO for sure. It feels like something you'd see in FASA, you know. It's got that vibe to it. Although I'd like to see it from like bottom 3/4, because again, they pushed the secondary hull like down and out so far that you can see it from this view.
Yeah.
So it must be long, but it's fine.
Yeah, it's I like the nacelles. They're kind of more the more Enterprise D meets NX, because you've got the nice glowing, like a more bold glowing element, the simple glowing element of the D, with sort of the front of the NX, which kind of leaves you just a very simple tube, but with the two most important parts well represented, right? The facade and the grills. It has a habit of adding a, I think, mistily proportioned and mistily placed for perspective secondary hull deflector thing. It's done that a few times. Like, I can't quite see how that is there, but it thought it should add it. And I probably would have been more fond of this if there was no secondary hull and it was all in the saucer, which it might be intending, right? The way it's framed, you could argue it's connected just maybe a little bit down. But it's basic, but you could definitely take it somewhere, right?
Yeah, I do like the idea, the shape of the secondary hull at the back there. That's kind of interesting. And also the long drawback of like the BC deck, like all the way to the back, is kind of an interesting vibe as well, which would work on a lot of Starfleet vessels. But yeah, it's pretty good. Pretty good. I give it STO marks.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like. Yeah.
Pretty good.
Devo says he imagines 2 secondary hulls. There are a few ships like that, and sure, I can see that here. You can only see the one that tapers back into that back element, and then the other ones, of course, you can't see because it's hidden by the saucer. That'd be kind of interesting, honestly. But yeah, not sure that's the case. Not sure that's what it was trying to do.
Yeah, it's good. And often, not. I mean, we saw how complicated the previous one was. Sometimes you can not reinvent the wheel and still work, and this is, pretty safe, but without artistic flair.
Yeah.
Actually, it would be interesting to just take a good render of, let's say, every stow version of a TOS ship, right? Plug them all in and say, and just one after another, create a new 60s design, and keep going, and then from that, let's say 20, pick the best 10 or pick the best 3,
Mm-hmm.
Give just the core elements and saying just design new TOS ships. It'd be pretty satisfying.
It would be, yeah. All right, well, that's a good one, Olivia.
Good job. Next we go.
Next super chat is also Olivia.
Oh
we need more people to super chat in, guys.
Yeah, helps us go.
$5. Combine the Ralph McQuarrie's Phase 2 concept ship and the NX-01.
Diabolical combination.
Diabolical. And here it is. Wow.
Wow is right.
A lot of NX elements retained, but a new interesting shape. And I can see what it kind of tried to do.
Yeah.
It's the secondary hull like embedded in there. This is for the planet of giants or whatever, Titans.
Yes.
Yeah. It works. It feels like an early Starfleet craft. Like it could definitely be part of an X era for sure.
Yeah.
Where they're trying to find their vibe and their flow. I like it. I really do.
Well, it's inelegant, but yeah, of course it is. Right?
Yeah.
It could not be elegant with those designs intact, and I can appreciate that thinking it had logic, right? That it said, right, we can't just shove these two together. You have to make some semblance of, okay, so it's going to be an X really, and we're going to use basic, yet different shape design work. Yeah. And so, the fact that the fact that it took away the saucer, gave it the points, ain't that bad. Bulked out the bridge dome area, works quite well. Filling the pontoons works really well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would want to see, a reason for the points, because they're a choice. But there's a lot of, it's dumb, right? But you could absolutely turn that into a silly proto one of one with a bit more logic.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, it
Nice.
seems like a prototype ship for something, testing some kind of new
But
technology.
something.
Yeah.
Right.
Willoughby calls it the USS Throwing Star. Yeah, that's exactly what it looks like.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Even the nacelles. The one, it's funny because the one furthest from us seems like it's flat on the sides, but the one closest doesn't really have that same vibe. Maybe I'm
Hmm.
just, it's an optical illusion. Because if they were flat, like refit style, that's kind of neat.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, I see what you mean. As if the earlier than early is back to the rectangle design again.
Yeah.
Huh. Huh?
The rectangle design on the cells looks good, I think. So
Yeah.
that's cool. Kind of looks like the tug from Picard. Yes, Dan, it
Yeah.
does actually.
Yeah. Very
Yeah.
fair. All right, I like it. Oh, do you want to throw in one of mine? Because to show you guys what is possible, we've got a few ready-made for you guys to put in your ideas.
Well, let's not just pick all the best ones. I'll just grab the one from the top.
Oh, yes.
So this is the Chaffee
Uh-huh.
shuttle mixed with the Defiant.
Yes. It failed the assignment. It still managed to work out why. I mean, well, yeah. Like it. That's what I say. It defaulted to a shuttle, but when you think it was okay, it's not a Defiant Chaffee. It's a alt Chaffee with Defiant elements. Now, what do you think?
It's cool as an alternate shuttle. It
Yeah.
feels a little not of the era though.
Oh,
Something about
really?
the bulkiness of those rear parts just doesn't seem as sleek as they should
Interesting.
be. But
Or is it maybe also because it's the opposite of what you just said, but maybe your brain's connecting the two? What if also because the front of the whole thing gives more of an NX shuttle pod curve, which goes
mm,
against the design?
maybe, but it still maintained that Chaffee look at the front
Mm.
and the Star Trek Five shuttle kind of front end.
Yeah,
So
yeah, that's
I
true.
don't really see the shuttle pod until you set it, and then it's like, okay, I can see it's maybe a little bit of that with the way it's changed some of the
It's
shapes a
more
little bit.
curved versus angle
Yeah,
curve. It's a
yeah,
silly distinction, but it's done enough. I gotta give it real credit for the registry, the lettering, and the pennant. It's really crisp. Like that's a properly good image without really any AI bullshit like leftovers. That's pretty damn crisp. I mean, it came over. There's a blink in the secondary or in the sorry the bottom of the cockpit. See, I think I like obviously it's all double fictional, right? I like what I'm seeing. The extrapolation that you got the impulse crystal. There's a clear line where that back engine pod can be swapped out, as if it's just
yeah,
like a work bee, not literally, but like it's a front and there's variations on the back. So this is like
yeah.
the distance version, where therefore you need a Bassard collector as well as warp core, warp engine. Then you could have 4 or 5 variations within this. Some triple nacelle dreadnought shuttles, Stuart, dreadnought shuttles. Some single
Cool.
nacelle. Like this actually is interesting to me. And gosh, if you had like Rick Sternbach and said turn this into a fully fleshed out, he would not have to do that much.
Yeah, yeah. You could even like turn it into like a cargo train, like the work bees
Yeah,
can do. They attach to those cargo containers.
100%.
Yeah, and that's funny because the front of the shuttle here seems like it took some cues from the Defiant to have that
Yeah.
front pod on the Defiant. It's kind of changed the shape to that a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Be cool if that pod could come out and like have these attached to it so it become its own like shuttle that can take off and do things.
Mm.
Um, replace the front pod of the Defiant with different front pods for different functions.
Sure. Quite solid, really.
Yeah.
Not amazing, but quite solid.
Yes.
And definitely, you could concept this into a real design.
Yeah, and to be fair, it's not that far off from what the Chaffee actually looks like. Like it didn't do again, it got kind of lazy here, I think. In its quote unquote design language. So, but
Well, it keeps it logical.
yeah, yeah, not one of my favorites. That's for sure. But also not
Not
one of the
broken.
worst because yeah, it didn't add anything that breaks the design. It didn't do anything silly with it. It feels like an early concept sketch that
Yeah.
wasn't refined, just brought to life.
Yep.
So
So well done,
I guess, yeah,
I
well
guess.
done.
Cool. All right. Where's next in the fan submissions? Which we love.
Spiked Psycho. Howdy, y'all. Be in and out. Have to go Navy work. Do Angelo class and Miranda class nacelles and components. Okay. Not
Which I
sure what the.
appreciate the very specific requests.
Yes, they actually help immensely. So, sure what the Angelo class is, though.
Oh, it's the forest ship. Rainforest ship.
Oh, for Christ's sakes.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Well, I can't wait to see that.
Yes. Oh, is it not up already? Oh, I thought it was already up.
No, it's
I
not
thought it
up
was
already.
stalling for dramatic effect. No, because it wasn't there.
No.
Fair enough.
I'm seeing blackness. I'm blind, Sam. I can't see you or the ship.
Wabam!
It's getting worse. My blindness. Ah. Oh.
Yeah, I know. This one really tried hard.
This is like a cruise ship or a Las Vegas casino turned into a ship. It's just got that extravagance to it. The USS Hugh.
It ain't awful, though, is it? Really?
No, this would actually be a good addition to the 32nd Century Fleet, if I'm honest.
God.
I, I do like the lower nacelles still maintaining that refit vibe, but being different.
Mm.
The top ones are pretty standard nacelles, but I still really like the shapes and colors and refinement that it chose for those. Uh, and yeah, it's just a ship that's, I mean, it feels like a resort. It feels like some kind of luxury resort. You got the space on the bottom where you could have like water and a beach down there, you know. Um, no, it actually works. It improves the rainforest design quite a bit. And the color, that white, gleaming white, is it just says 32nd Century Fleet to me. So, which is interesting because the rainforest ship doesn't have a lot of the white, I don't think.
No, none.
So
I see. I would have thought you would say it looked so much like the refit.
it does look a lot like the refit. Um, but I appreciate the white color. It's kind of got a pearlescency to it. So yeah, the saucer does feel refitty.
Yeah,
Just interesting.
like it's dumb, but of course it is, right? But I actually rather like this because it's if we take it at face value, right, which is all we can really do with these two types of nacelles, like they pretty much mimic on the top, so you can see on the bottom. Both pretty solid. One's a TOS refit hybrid, which I've never seen like notably refit back and then it curves back into a more not literally TOS, but that curved front. Actually, quite like.
Yeah.
And then the other one is curved the whole time, but still that in that rectangular way. Both actually are quite valid, I'd say.
It actually looks like two ships docked together. Like the bottom ship is completely separate.
Yeah, possibly.
It's got more of a refined hull, lower nacelles, just
Oh,
comes in and docks. It's
you know what?
like I said, a resort.
If there you go, if the bottom ship nacelles are flat with the saucer, then the bottom ship is basically the captain's yacht, and it goes onto a planet, a pleasure planet, and it like sits on the water, and so you can the dome can
Hmm.
unfurl, and you get your beautiful beach resort on an actual alien planet. Bam, there you go. But I mean, considering where it's pulled from, like
Yeah.
it's the rainforest ship is dumb, but the concept of just having an open greenery has been here since the TMP, because in the
Hmm.
regular one slash office complex there is literally a ring of forest, and it's always
Yep.
fun in 3D to include green things in a ring. That literally is from the second iteration of third iteration of Star Trek. That so having it be this open, while dumb in this context, you could absolutely, even the Galaxy class, say, or a variant, have had a ring in the saucer which could become
Mm.
open and visible to let a ring of trees, the forest run, the forest
Well,
path, right?
yeah, I mean, even like if you look to Strange New Worlds, which is pre-TOS in the Prime universe, you've got Starbase One that has all the domes with all the
Yeah,
forests in them.
100%.
So this is the same vibe,
Yeah.
just yeah, yeah, it works. This is really good. I love the paint color on this.
Yeah.
Like it's getting away from those dirty grays and shit that we see all the time.
Yep.
And this is how ships in Stranger World should look. They're like gleaming white. So
No, it's
yeah, this is good.
even where the impulse crystal is, I can really see the shuttle bay at the back. I can really see what's behind there.
Yeah.
Boy, some of these are like striking yeses and like what are you doing no's. It's amazing, right? So keep throwing ideas, because yeah, and they can be really simple. Like combine a Miranda with a Connie, combine Defiant with Akira, like simple ones or radical ones. Or to remind you guys, we have done things with the Gould Mothership, the Pyramid ship, and that had a really great DS9 version. So throw the Pyramid in with the Connie or whatever,
Mhm.
can look rather cool as well. Potentially, but we won't know until someone puts in for it.
Yeah, today is not just Star Trek ships.
Yeah.
Like we have days for just combining Star Trek ships. Today's anything. So
Mm-hmm.
keep that in mind.
Might not always work well, but it will always do something.
The vaguity of that statement.
Yes, you're welcome.
All right, next up, we've got Richard Law, £5.
Thanks so much.
Hey guys, how about the Executor Superstar Destroyer and
Mm-hmm.
the Enterprise J?
Well, it happened. They made a baby.
Again, it really really understood the assignment too. You can see the Enterprise J wedged in there. It's maintaining the wings that it had for that one NX and
Well,
Ralph McQuarrie
I mean, also the
concept.
image I put in of the destroyer, you always see it from the side to see the scale. So
Yeah.
it didn't know what the front was. So I'm fine assuming it took the angle, which is logical.
This
Yeah.
looks like a big manta ray.
Oh, and Dan, a Borg Smith Andromeda. Great idea. Put in for it. It's a cool idea.
Mhm.
Sorry, back to you.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it looks like a manta ray, some kind of sea creature
Mm,
vibe for sure.
mm.
I like the the redesign of the Enterprise J nacelles. I think that's kind of cool.
Um, well, anacell.
Yeah, well, I'm pretending the other one's there.
Okay, okay. We're photoshopping it live in your brain, which is fair. Some of these do need that. Totally fair.
Well, it only needs one active warp nacelle. The other
It's
one's
a
a
hyperdrive unit.
specialist. Yes, yeah, there you go. Perfect.
It's not perfect. It's dumb. Alright. Yeah, but I as you alluded to, I really do like the way it's kept the window lights looking element. That looks rather charming, and it's kept the brittle, fragile look by like the Star Destroyer is such a robust shape to have for some odd reason the secondary hull, sure, have a support to raise it for no real reason except that J Can did.
Yeah,
Makes it feel spindly, but as you said 100 times with the Enterprise J, that must be the size of like the Enterprise E, the support just by itself, right?
yeah,
So it's
yeah.
not small; it's hugely structural. Good luck, right?
Just seems small and
Yeah,
compared. Yeah, yeah. No, it's actually a pretty cool design, if I'm honest.
yeah. I'm also visualizing. I don't know if you'll know the scene or the vibe, but that front chunk reminds me of the Lost in Space robot when he's going a bit evil, or like some moments where the kind of the colors and the
Hmm, hmm,
great. Glad you saw that too, because it's like okay,
hmm.
I see that guy.
Yeah, the front's an interesting choice, and I'm not sure where that came from with with the two ships, but
We like a bit of design if it's the sort of design. It's cool.
hmm.
And Star Wars is a really different franchise to add.
Mhm.
Starship, Millennium Falcon, and Defiant, right? Two logically
It's
potential.
funny if you hold your hand up and get rid of the nacelles on the back, it feels
Mm.
like a realistic kind of concepty space plane
Uh-huh.
vibe, like
Uh-huh.
something you see as Sky Captain in the World of Tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
It's got that kind of feel to it.
Yeah. It's up to you all.
Craziness.
Power is in your hands.
Dun dun dun.
Very cool. Oh, do you want to throw another one of our pre-made fun ones, as there are a few?
Um, sure, I'll grab this one.
Ooh. Ah, yes.
So this is part Excelsior, part Sovereign.
Uh-uh. Nope.
Hmm.
No, once again, it is a bug ship.
So an Excelsior in a bug ship.
Mm-hmm. Because I like that they're so different in terms of shapes and structures. So to try and force the combine, I always find quite interesting. I did
Yeah.
ask it to do it again, but see the whole damn image, and then it spit out the other one with the weird other detail. I'm like, nope. So I'm going to include this one because it works far
Yeah.
better. If the other one is, well,
Do you want me to pull the other one in?
yeah, sure.
This is the other one when he tried to correct it to show the complete image.
It said no,
And
of course, but we tried.
it just added an extra goddamn thing, which we talked about earlier,
Yep.
which is what it tends to do. No, I thought it was a Sovereign because of the stepping that's at the back of the saucer.
Sure, 100%, yeah.
Kind of has that feel. Um, I like the detailing on it though. I like the light blue and the gray. I think that works really well. The nacelles, the refinement of the Excelsior nacelles is really good. Like those are
Oh,
actually
yeah.
really cool nacelle designs. At least on the first picture. The second one, not so much. Second one feels like it's an Excelsior combined with an Intrepid class, honestly.
Hmm.
But yeah, I see the bug ship nacelle on the second one for sure.
Yeah, actually, again, the first one I kept more for a reason. Yeah, Cell's actually rather good. Really simple redesign, but actually very, like, you could have seen that as being Enterprise B's nacelles.
Yeah,
Sleeker with the glow. I might have to save that, because that's actually, I think probably the top is a bit too deep for the
I'm just
way it
gonna
cuts in.
zoom in on those for people.
Yeah, I think that probably cuts in a bit too much. The negative space is very not of the era. So make that a bit more in line with it. But that's darn solid. And then you've got the random greebling of the bug ship, which actually now look at the windows, it's much smaller. So it's kind of a, gosh, Defiant, just a bit bigger than Defiant. It's actually pretty small then, huh?
I can see it being small and I can also see it being quite large
Yeah,
based on this.
yeah, both kind of work. And if you're looking at more of a medium ship, well, even small, it'd be interesting if take this, but then those E but not E style protrusions at the back of the saucer, if each end of that facing forward was a shuttle bay door, and
Yeah.
because the way they're angled in, all the shuttles are stacked, so the whole back sort of fins are shuttle bays, allowing for quick forward launching out, and it all kind of connects into the main bulk, almost like a this middle bit. Oh, I've got a pointer. Is kind of like a repair facility slash construction facility, so it's able to launch shuttles in a way that's kind of special and unique. Yeah, yeah, not
Works.
bad.
Yep, could use a little refinement, but I think overall it's a pretty solid design.
Yeah. Again, you give it to someone like Rick Sternbach and say just make it a bit more,
Hmm.
you know.
The other thing you can do if you wanted to see the whole image, just type into ChatGPT, love this image, love the design, keep everything exactly as is, but show me the entire ship. It sometimes works. Just,
Yeah.
but yeah, ChatGPT is notorious for changing things when you really like something. Um, right.
Yeah, definitely a few wins so far. Oh boy, do you want to throw one of the failures just to kind of show the contrast on you can cherry pick some good ones because there's a. What's the worst one that you've seen? Dear me.
Huh, that you created on the side there?
Yes. Yes, the new one. Now you'll never guess the two ships that are utilized for this, Stuart. It's of course the Negvar and the Promelian battle cruiser. I mean, I think both influences are clear.
Uh, to me, I don't
Oh,
know. It looks like, an NX era Romulan bird of prey, which is actually completely wrong for its era, but that's fine. And then a NX inspection pod, upscaled.
oh, damn! You saw through my ruse. Shit, you saw it. You guessed. Yeah, this one is embarrassing. That said,
Oh, oh,
bloody close recreation of the reference image of the bird of prey. Like,
yeah.
it doesn't tend to recreate one to one. That is extremely close. Right? Like, really close.
Love how it tried and it blended some green in with some lights
Yeah.
on the bottom. Like, this, I'm trying, guys. You're not. You didn't.
Oh, I wonder if this is a special craft. Wait for it.
God.
Yep. What if this is a specialist craft designed for the giant Spock, as seen in TAS and Lower Decks? Because he's
They're
half.
going to rescue him.
Exactly, because he's Romulan and Romulan in a sense, right? So the Romulans have come in to save him, and they have designed a ship that has a custom caddy, just someone of his size. Now does it make sense, Stuart?
Sure. Yeah,
Thank
yeah, yeah.
you.
And there's two seats because they have a Romulan version of the giant
Oh
Spock
God.
that they need, and they need unification. So they need to get the two together to
Oh my
negotiate.
goodness.
Yeah.
And I'll do a reverse the fly, where it combines the DNA into one person in the front, and then the thing pops off and it becomes a new Gormagander style life form. Goodness!
Oh, when they combine the DNA, that's what creates the great koala.
Well, shit.
Mystery solved.
Mystery solved. Gosh.
Yeah, that's an abject failure for sure.
Yeah. But you know what?
Embarrassing.
We like some failures. Alright, there is Olivia's. God rest our sanities.
All right, let's get that the hell out of here. And Olivia's next one, $5. So thank you so much, Olivia. The TOS Connie and the Angelo class. Hashtag Stuart Payne. All right, so this is the Rainforest ship and a TOS Connie. Wow. I mean, Stuart's Payne. It's Stuart's Delight. It's got 3 nacelles. This looks like an accident occurred. They didn't initiate the brake soon enough and they smashed into something. This is another failure. What is going on today? Usually they're much better than this.
Well, no, you picked real gems. Just normally they go hit miss hit miss hit miss. You happen to pick 3 hits, and now you happen to pick 3 misses. Don't blame
Sure.
it. Blame the
Sure.
people for terrible prompts. No, I'm joking. Joking.
I don't even know what to say. It's 2 separate ships that look like they just smashed into each other.
Yeah. But it's also
And besides, I was gonna say, besides the nacelles, there's nothing TOS about or TOS Connie about that other one, really.
which is funny because if you have it just create to as Connie, it knows what it looks like. So it's weird that
Yeah.
it. And I do put images to these. They're all like I input. It reminds me of a nice gentle TOS ship is flying by, and all of a sudden a strange universal breach opens up, and a little alien life form egg plops way into the saucer, and oh my god, it magically grows into this giant cyst of an alien life bubble. And that's what we're seeing here. So
And it's a whole colony. It's a whole world of these tiny, tiny creatures.
yes.
It's their way of
That
saving their civilization.
that said, if you just took the ball as just the ball, I don't mind the way it's framed. Because I would imagine that it's the exact same thing top and bottom on 2 gravity planes. So you've got a nice forest with an inner ring of like a living space, and then an inner ring of more of like a courtyard with people zones. Actually, quite like the inner bit as a design, and the idea that you can see out.
Mhm.
Actually, rather like that with the
Yeah.
lights. That's actually kind of cute.
Looks like future Stonehenge.
Not what I
Kind
was
of got a
going for,
stone.
but yes, I see what you mean.
It's got kind of a Stonehenge vibe.
Although as a filmmaker, what I also see is you picture that pretty much as is, but then like like a little temple in the middle, and there's a cult activity happening and there's like red fire, and it's like this giant sci-fi cult movie. They had to build their own cult area. It's like, oh god, I don't think you saw that, but that's what I saw. Yeah.
And Geek Filter's here, Aaron. He says,
Hey.
sadly, he died 6 months after Spock 2 was created.
Oh.
What, Big Spock?
Oh.
Spock's 2. Oh, so Spock 2 died 6 months after he was created. Is that what you're saying? I assume so. Well, now you just ruined our story.
We had a very good story.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look,
Oh,
not all of these images are canon, okay? So it's okay if some aren't quite like there isn't this one's not quite the canon.
alternate universes, multiverse. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, this one's again just throwing in an extra in a cell for no goddamn reason. It's like, thanks for that. And only one. Like, there's not one on the other side on the bottom, which would have been like more acceptable. You know.
Yeah, common just hiccup it has. It just doesn't like it doesn't like symmetry, right?
It's trying to be clever, I think, and go,
yeah.
I don't need to do symmetry. I'm not just all logical. Look at me be creative. And it's like, no, you've failed. Thank you.
Simmer
Move
what?
move on. Move on.
No, symmetry. Google it? Well, you are Google as well. Look it up! Dear me.
Yeah.
But as ever, a couple of interesting design cues here.
Yeah.
They're good design cues, but interesting.
I like your idea though. It sparks a good
Yeah.
storytelling idea to have like something come through, embed itself in the hull and starts growing. They can't stop it.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, civilization trying to save its life since it's out to space.
Yeah. Because it's
Yeah.
so integrated while being absolutely a giant cyst.
Yeah. Can't wait for it to pop. Yay.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Space goo.
Goodness. Yeah. It's funny how you ask for a Connie meets Rainforest Ship. The most interesting thing is the Rainforest Ship out of the two. Not what we thought was going to happen, and I'm here for it.
Yeah.
All right, where we go next? With our fine audience's suggestions.
Classic for real, $5.
Oh, God. Sorry, I'm
I know.
excited.
Classic for reals here. Woohoo. The Enterprise D nacelles, Miranda saucer, and Voyager shuttle bay, all on the body of Magatuski. Cat armor version. P.S. Thanks, Spike Psycho, for the rainforest. Yeah, you're keeping the rainforest love
Quite,
alive when
quite
Classic's not here.
a deep cut. You must have been here when those happened. I put exactly what you asked for. So I didn't change it because he had a very specific prompt, and this is the specific prompt. What it gave back. Do you know what you're looking at? Is the first question.
Looks like Battletech or something. Yeah, looks. I mean, the guy's got a gonad problem. They're swollen. He needs to see a doctor immediately. His scrotum is oversized. I mean,
Could you read out the prompt again? Just to remind us now we're seeing it, how close it got.
so
Yeah.
Enterprise D nacelles.
Nope.
And no, more like Enterprise C. They're closer.
Yep.
Miranda saucer.
Pass. Passing
Voyager
grade.
shuttle bay.
Mm,
Sure.
yeah.
All on the body of it, and it did it. It put him on the body. It didn't integrate anything.
Yeah.
The saucer
That's
is like
fair.
a shield. I wish it was on his arm, like the side, more like a shield. Um, but sure, yep, good, awesome. I don't have words. And Geek Filter says, "Yep, that's what we wrote into Star Trek Adventures, so it's beta canon, not necessarily alpha canon, but he does die eventually because we see his bones. We do in Lower Decks, yeah." And he also says, the other one almost looks like the Apple HQ building in space.
Yeah,
It did look like a corporate headquarters or something, didn't it?
Yeah, fair shout, fair shout. Let's zoom in on the most interesting part, which is the Miranda saucer.
Saucer, yeah.
As I'm doing that, because it understood the assignment is a phrase I like that you use for this. It reminds me more of the Stargazer from Picard, like some of the very subtle difference in curves.
Yeah, it's got an interesting look to it.
Yeah.
Again, it feels something like out of STO. They took a
Yes.
recognizable thing and changed it subtly and made some, distinct lines on it. I do like the way that the bridge module and stuff is built up on that. But yeah, is that Cyrillic? It looks kind of a Russian saucer for the registry. I don't know.
Sure.
It did the job. It did the job. It put them on this other thing. So if you want them integrated somehow, you need to incorporate that into your super chat.
Well, I think he was not trying to integrate them. I think that was part of the point.
No, I know, but I would like to see like a Miranda saucer as a hat
Oh
or
damn.
something. And then I get this big brim of like a Miranda saucer.
I mean, sure. Yeah. Yeah. All right, we want to throw in one of the other preordained ones while you guys have more great ideas coming along. And yes, people including Star Wars ships, which is great. Love that. Do keep including.
Yes, that's what this one's about today. So, okay. That being said, yours seem to all be Star Trek ships.
Yes, because I had the easy reference at hand.
Gotcha. So this one, what was incorporated here? Well, one is the Intrepid class or the Voyager, and the other, those nacelles look super familiar. Those Bizarre collectors. Is it? It's not the Sovereign, is it?
No, I can't remember actually. It was
Hmm.
Intrepid and I think it's the Akira, but it does not. Yeah, wouldn't say. But
Overall,
it's
not a bad ship. Not a bad looking design. I'm not a big fan of the shape of that saucer. The way it just doesn't
yeah,
have the
Akira.
refinement of the Intrepid class. But I love the build up of the middle part. Like that's really well done. The struts being down so low coming out, I like that, and the way they kind of curve a little bit.
I feel like we've seen these cells in previous AI
Yeah,
creations,
we have for sure.
but the source is pretty good. It's definitely like I said, worse. Oh, worse Intrepid. It reminds me of the Lost in Space ship. What's that exact same shape? The middle one,
Yeah,
the movie
yeah,
version. But phase strips look pretty good. I do not mind at all the way they've gone from the more curved saucer into the more hard edge bulk of the main area of the
yeah.
bridge and C and D and then how it goes back. Actually quite like that as a design. Like it's sort of designed, but having such separation without a curve up actually does work in this case. And like I say, having the flat pylons. Yeah, there's this you could very easily take in a new direction using the concept. Yeah, actually, this is pretty successful, I think. It even
Mhm.
gave you placements for the RCS thrusters and some details that are important that actually, for the
Yeah,
most part, work. Although that said, if you cut out the deflector, made it kind of Nova like, and then
yeah.
added a side pod perhaps, it'd be the Millennium Falcon. That's also it's almost the same, right?
Yeah,
Wouldn't take much. Wouldn't take much.
I love the name of the ship, the USS. Must be the USS John Cena. You can't see me. I don't know.
Oh dear.
Right?
I don't like this actually. There's and it's funny. TOS it understands basics, but it did not like it can't add the details. It doesn't know their details, right? It doesn't understand techiness. Here, it wonderfully copied in details, so now we have stuff to talk about because it did a really good job of just mishmashing and mixing up. Yeah, pretty good.
Mhm.
Pretty good. Now,
Pretty adequate.
I'll tell you what. $2 or pounds, because I rather like this. $2 from anybody, and every new $2 asks for a new view orthographically.
God.
Because I could put this back in and say, hey, can we design the more ships? So I'd love to see more views of the ship. So $2, and I'll do a new view of the same ship, and let's see if we can. Yeah, if anyone wants to see more of it, $2 would be fun to continue with this. Let's look at the poll results so far. Again, if you have any twos, put them in right now. Are you going to join in our strange episode 1-2 live review next Friday? 70% of 33 people say yes.
Good.
And 30% say no. So that's about 25 of you can. Super duper. Yes, join in. We haven't done an episode review in a while, nor a new one in a while. The last one was Lower Decks.
I forget how to do them.
It's been a little while. Definitely,
It's been a minute.
yeah, to go straight from like watching the episode talking to you within minutes sometimes, like occasionally it's like, and Stuart, we're both finishing at the same time. I'll give you up in a, okay, Stuart, let's do a review. It's like, it's just happened. No time to like incorporate it in my brain.
To be fair, we haven't got rusty because we've been doing movie reviews in between.
Oh yes. Those long
Same
ones.
kind of style-ish, but just with some alcohol involved.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of, this Saturday, we have a Trekyards for Sam's birthday before Stranger Worlds starts.
Hey.
I mean, do still have to cover Star Trek 4, but that'll be probably after Stranger Worlds is finished, would be my guess.
Yep.
So yeah, tune in this Saturday around 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and hang out with us for a few hours, have some fun, celebrate Sam's 32nd birthday.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and I will bring out the presents that I got for my birthday. Maybe even show off a couple of things that arrived because my birthday was near a filming we did. And some stuff arrived for that. So it might be nice to show off some of that stuff. Kind of exclusive. I mean, Stuart. Yeah, I sent you pictures of the shoot, didn't I?
Which one?
The Nim recent one with someone else who you know. Yeah, I sent you pictures.
Oh yes, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so the new prop from that is very exciting.
Yes.
Yes, I'm excited to use. And it's one of those things that did we hold that together in LA? That one. Did they have that? I don't think they did. Everything but. So I'd interested to see what you think when you're finally holding one, because.
Oh, yeah. No, we did hold that one. Yeah, I got pictures of that one.
Okay.
It's a cool one. It's a unique one.
Yeah. I'm so glad you get this because this would not work quite as well if you didn't.
It's all compressed in my brain. There, we got it.
Yeah. Because I don't remember how I felt. Boys, it's so useful and interesting to watch. It's well, we had it printed the right scale, so it should be right. And it was funny how those of smaller hands liked it better. Yeah, no shit. But really,
you'll find out what we're talking about for tuning in on Saturday.
Yes. And I have one costume as well I'm staring at right there that is a hero made that, we do the costumes part of the that as well. I'd love to see Stuart back in Wrath of Khan, personally. Looks very good in it.
Right.
So I guess no one wants to see $2 for a new view of the ship. We gave you a minute.
It's fine. We'll move on.
It's fine. Continue.
Do we have the next one available?
Yes, sir.
Oh, that's that one. Okay. All right, here we go. Spike Psycho, $5, Galaxy class, and a Mon Calamari cruiser. It's a trap, don't you know? Is that this one?
Nope.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna say that's a letdown.
That has failed. I always think I put them in when I'm on to the next one.
Sometimes you put them up top, and that one was up top for a while, and then moves to the side, and I was like, what the fuck's happening?
You're welcome.
Thank you. Okay, so this is
good
an
idea,
Enterprise.
Guys. Good idea.
This is a Galaxy class and a Mon Calamari cruiser. I mean, the nacelles are nothing at all remotely galaxy classy. You can see the Mon Calamari cruiser, and you can see the saucer of a galaxy class wedged in there, and not uniformly, I might add. This
Yeah.
is this feels like there was an abandoned saucer in space, something latched onto it, grew again, kind of like the
Oh.
spore grew, and then sprouted nacelles. I mean, I'm not a big fan of the nacelles, if I'm honest. I don't like
Hmm.
the Bizarre collectors, the way they look at the front. The sides are all right, and I like the way they taper at the back on the far one. But even add a little deflector type thing or a window on the front of the, unless that's there on the Mon Calamari cruiser. I don't think it is. That blue window thing.
No.
Yeah.
See, I was vibing this worked reasonably well, but that was from me quickly looking. I'm trying to multitask, obviously, as you know, hadn't necessarily looked at it. And yeah, the fact that the saucer is off bugs the hell out of me.
Yeah.
Because conceptually, it's done exactly what we asked. It's combined the two. It's got the nacelles and saucer of the Enterprise. Well, no, not the of a ship. Of a ship. Mon Calamari is scrunched a bit. I like the fact that it's textured both as neither. Because the Mon Calamari is a very like simple grey, but it works for a minute. You know, a lot of these things they work less good in basic CG because as a miniature you have the natural variation of paint, of the grey, and you light it with real lights. It looks real because it is, not because it necessarily looks good, like painting wise, because it is real, right? So in CG, grey doesn't quite work. So it's taken the grey of Mon Calamari, which is good, but then it's given sort of the Aztecing, but not. So it's kind of done both, but neither. But I see both, which is pretty effective. Added deflector, quite like that. Nacelles, pretty good, actually. I think thumbs up for the nacelles. But yeah, it's
You know what it looks like? You
mm,
know what it looks like is there's a Federation ship, not a Galaxy class, but something similar, you know, saucer wise at least. And a ship came out of hyperspace, but calculated wrong and like embedded itself into this other ship.
yeah.
The meeting of universes didn't go well.
And then Anorax, the Chrome Time Ship, fired a pulse and had them combine because he's a real so and so.
Yeah.
It looks as if it's a Mon Calamari like mid-range cruiser with a herniated disc. Da-dum.
Hey, I don't want to hear herniated disc anytime soon. Shut the fuck
Yeah.
up. I'm
So
feeling much better. Thank you.
so glad you're well. But good nacelles actually. Decent nacelles. Nothing to write home about, but
Yeah.
scale
And
feels wrong, but
Yeah, General Grievous is here. Head-on collision with Deanna Troy and Admiral Holdo. He tried to do the Holdo maneuver and failed.
yeah. I'm gonna put a new poll in the chat. You
You know what,
inspired me, Stuart. You inspired me.
you know what this is? This is just the double exposure. From back when we used film and the film didn't advance. So you got two pictures in one. That's what this is. Pictures of two different ships that are just overlapped.
You know what? Better example than I could have thought of. Very nice. All right, read out the poll, Stuart.
Did you like Star Wars The Last Jedi? Yes or no? You're going for 100% on this because a lot of people,
I
well, not a lot of people, a few people really like that movie.
at the time was 50-50. So yeah.
Go vote on the poll, guys. It's like The Last Jedi because why not?
Now that would be a hell of a movie review.
We'll get there. After we do all the Star Trek films, we're gonna do all the
Oh,
Star Wars films. So it'll take a
oh,
couple years to do all these things, but we're gonna get there. We
that.
need to
Oh goodness.
we
Yeah.
need to give ourselves stuff to do in the future. So we're getting there. It's a lot of movies to go through before we get there, but we're gonna get there.
I do think though we might both get alcohol poisoning watching '09.
Oh nine won't be so bad. If it's Into Darkness, it's gonna, yeah, that's the one that's gonna require a lot of drinks.
Because that's the thing. I feel like for like there should be a rule for truly heinous elements you have to drink as punishment
For,
for watching it.
for galaxy destroying cannon breaks, you need to have a shot. It's like,
Oh
oh
god.
shit.
On this final episode of Trekyards, we die.
Bye before your eyes.
Yeah. That was sort of as a designated like
And
call button at the 2 hour mark for ambulance to come in to pump our stomachs. Yeah.
and not only that, but we're being tortured worse than Picard was in Chain of Command. What a way to go out.
There are 12 Star Trek movies. Ah! Ah!
Oh, Jesus. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on. Yeah, we have the next one. Okay, good. Throw that down there. All right. Richard Lall, £5. Last one from me tonight. Let's
Thank
go
you.
with a Maquis Raider and the White Star, or a White Star from Babylon 5.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I love the White Star, as you guys know. I'm not a big fan of the Maquis Raider. Just saying. So let's see oh my, that's actually not bad. That's actually kind of cool. That's like taking the Babylon 5 design and bringing it into like Star Wars, adding some more realistic elements to it. You got some cockpits there. You got like the Maquis greebling on the back with little fins, but maintaining the organic and really awesome vibe of the White Star. That actually works fairly well, if I'm honest. It's like a B movie if they'd stolen the design of and wanted to change it a little bit, but keep the main look.
That's great because you were ready to shit on this, weren't you? You're just
I
ready
was
to
ready.
go. You're
I was
primed.
ready. Yeah, but I love the White Star. I think it's an awesome design. This isn't bad. This incorporates elements of the Maquis Raider that I don't mind in a way that's tasteful and classy. Doesn't really fit with the organic vibe, but it's like it's being assimilated by a technological species, not the Borg. But they're going to make the whole ship that's kind of organic become not organic, and they're just working on it. Is what it feels like.
Geek Filter says for the poll of Lost Jedi, you should haven't seen it.
Oh,
But how many people
wow.
wouldn't have seen it on a channel like this for geekdom, right? Like
Well,
real,
he's a pretty big geek, that guy,
but I mean,
in the best way.
but seriously, like what like geek sci-fi fan would have skipped the sequels? Like even if you're not a big Star Wars fan, you would still have seen them. I don't like. Has anyone in the chat not seen it? I would be shocked if
Well,
anyone
I
hadn't
think he's
seen it.
implying that he hasn't seen it.
I'm sure he has. I don't. I
I'm
can't.
sure he has too,
I
but
can't imagine he has. Hey, Trick or not? Like who hasn't seen it? Because I mean, if we're on like a Barbie channel or a makeup tutorial channel, maybe some people haven't seen Last Jedi, but would think everyone here would have probably several
hmm,
times. Even I've seen it more than once.
or at
I
least
just like it.
know everything about it. Yeah.
Well, like I said, I think just
He,
seen it.
and he goes on to say he has to drive by the brewery warp core nearly every day. You poor bastards.
I'll never forget them for the forgive
Oh,
them for
that,
the
yeah, never forgive them for the death of our engineering.
logic. Oh, the pain. Yeah. All right,
Glad you could make it, Aaron. It's good to see you.
it is. Join us more. Well, yeah, join us the Strange Worlds discussions.
Please.
Um, yeah. So my thoughts. I mean, this is kind of copped out in a hardcore way because it is just the White
Yes.
Star with stuff. But I commend it again for the recreation of the pieces because a lot of it's very very faithful. But by copping out hardcore, it's actually a really solid combination. And if you if you smoothed out like, is there 3 or 2 cannons on the wings as they've done different ones each? So if you streamline, pick a side and mirror it right when you 3D model it, actually pretty damn solid. I really like the new cockpit actually, and maintaining the old cockpit but making it more built up. I really like the fins at the back. Actually, really like how it's done. Even the glows kind of work. The reds and the purples, actually a good combination. Well, I mean the reds, the yellows, and the purples is a lot. But no, actually, it's if I'm smaller, like a not runabout sized, but like above a fighter, but smaller than a ship. You know,
I
like
think in Defiant size.
no, I think smaller. At least in terms of usable volume, I see that front
Yeah.
bit as more like the runabout cockpit. So going backwards, and then a second runabout cockpit kind of thing at the top. So it has like a war room and a main room, and then but not like a full bridge. Is how I vibe that anyway. No, I really
Yeah.
like that. I think you'd get like the points of being a cop out just being too similar, but stolen design, just it's the stolen valor version of a White Star. No, it's
Yep.
actually kind of great.
It's not awful. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, yeah,
Could have been a lot worse, and I was expecting worse.
yes.
So yeah. All right. Well, that's not bad. So thank you, Richard Lau, for that one.
Yeah.
Uh,
Got some people
all
said some
right.
things in the chat though. If you want to, bring us up to speed.
About what, sir?
Last
The
Jedi and
classic for
such.
real has never seen The Last Jedi.
How?
It's classic only.
Sure.
There is a thing as continuity snarl for a reason.
Don't know what that. Have you heard of that term before?
No, no.
No idea what that is.
And Aaron or Geek Filter says I haven't seen the last two, just never got around to it. You should. You should check them out.
I don't see how.
Trust me, it's very good and worth watching.
But what does
It
not
won't
go
be a
around?
waste of your time.
What does not go around for it mean? As in, you got lots of time in the day, in the week. These things were in cinemas for a month, 2 months. The DVD Blu-ray came out. There's streaming services. If you have Disney Plus, you can watch it at your friend's house, whatever. It's been years now.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
And Geek Filter goes on to say, I think I might actually be on Text Trek during your stream. Oh, well, Text Trek's good, and say hi to Steven for us. But
Yes.
dude, you should come on Trekyards once. Join us sometime. That'd
Yeah.
be awesome.
Uh-huh. 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 Known you a bit of a while.
Yeah, but yeah. Anyway, it's called TFA and pissing away high school, arguing with the Star Wars fandom, killed off any care for Star Wars anymore. I don't understand that mentality because even though some of the new stuff's not great, it's still part of a franchise that you love or loved, and it's interesting. It's worth knowing what's going on. I don't know. I don't understand people that don't watch something because they hear bad reviews or they just I don't know. I That's just a personal hang up for me. I don't understand how people can like not check something out. It's good to know what you're talking about to watch it. Like I don't know. That's just me.
No,
Yeah.
we're relatively similar in that mentality. There's a huge
Yeah.
difference between I won't watch it.
Again.
No. I won't watch it because I don't like the media. For me, only applies like first run, meaning I won't support them with my money in the cinema.
Yeah.
But then, how could you ignore the eighth and ninth part of the epic Star Wars thing? It's been all of our lives, our entire lives. It is a galaxy era span we've all got personal love with. Even if it abuses the characters horribly, you still got to know what happens to Han Solo and Luke and Leia and such.
Yeah.
I couldn't not know. The side stuff, fine, whatever. But the main core things, like those would be more important. It's like not seeing a new Star Trek JJ and it's got Shatner because you don't like JJ. It's like, yeah, but it's got Shatner, so it's worth seeing what happens to his character, etc.
Yeah.
And there's so many shows where something in the marketing says if you don't like it, don't watch it, and then the viewership goes down. And we might not watch it again for a while, but we'll watch it eventually because
Yeah.
it's worth seeing eventually. Just the momentum is down. I don't know. It just
And the thing is too, if you don't support it, you're not going to get anything new that might turn the tables completely back to what you like because you're not supporting it. I don't know. It's a weird thing for me to get my head around. But Classic says fair enough, but still I got fandom burnout. And that's fair. Like that's to get burnout on something. Geek Filter says my partner was sick with a brain tumor and died, wasn't in the mood. Oh, that's sorry to hear that. And I did know about that, but yeah, that's fair.
you had enough punishment. Ha ha ha
Yeah.
ha. But
He says he'll join us anytime. Just let him know. Well,
oh,
you're welcome anytime, sir. We would love to have you.
Crazy. Got some things we could talk about.
But yeah, but say hi to the Text Trek crew and Stephen Fothery for us.
Yeah, we'd love to know what they
And
think of
Jill.
just.
Jill is always on your live streams, and she never comes to ours anymore.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're getting away from ships here.
Well, when
Let's
you've
move
got
on.
such a banger, it's nice to see, right? It's like, hey, this one worked. This one worked.
All right. Next up, we've got Spiked Psycho, $5, 32nd century ships inspired by modern architecture trend. Time Trek became popular. So the Rainforest ship was inspired by Norman Foster, who did Apple headquarters. Oh, well, perfect. There you go. Did not know that. Classic for real, $5. Enterprise D reimagined as an anime girl. P.S. Got to save up for the new eyeglasses, so this is probably it for the month. But we have a
What?
Drunkyards on Saturday.
That is true. Birthday.
We have the Enterprise D one.
But no, but you skipped. I mean, I did the prompt at 32nd century. You can see it's right up there. It's great. It's a really cool one.
Oh, it is, but it wasn't. He wasn't requesting
But
that.
we
He
want
was
to look
just
at
stating
ships,
a
Stuart. We
fact.
want to look at ships.
Oh, well.
You guys put stuff in. I want to see it. So there you go. 32nd century craft, inspired by the art design of the time Star Trek became famous. Was the logic of the prompt.
That's fantastic. Actually,
I know.
that would be the 32nd century ship I would love to see.
Yeah.
That is really cool.
Like, it's also really stupid, but it's also really clever. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's great. It's great. It's dumb. It's great. I just want to let that one go because it's rather cool.
And Classic for Real does jump in and say, I'll say Trekyards has been instrumental in preventing that burnout. Well, thank you. We try.
And you're instrumental in stopping our burnout.
No, this is fantastic. Everything about this, even the stupid buildings on top, work for a 32nd century ship because the nature of ship design would have changed.
Yeah.
And this is perfectly feasible, right? Like,
yeah,
I love that. Surprised they're not floating buildings, which I wouldn't have a problem with, honestly. But I love the integration of the warp nacelles, the color, the shape, the secondary hull, everything about this. It feels very organic, like a spore or some kind of like sea creature. It's got that kind of feel to it, kind of almost like the Orville designs with the way those nacelles with those struts are connected.
I see. Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's fantastic.
Yeah,
even the asymmetry a little bit in the saucer there, I like that. So
like, it doesn't work, but of course not, right? But as a concept ship, especially if you consider post burn, where it's like, we just need to survive, and we can only build 2 ships a year. F this, let's make them this crazy, like, oh god, it's like the Parliament building, the Federation in a ship. Well, we don't want to just be a ship. We want it to be a symbol, and therefore we have a full building, a literal symbol.
Yeah.
But yeah,
portable Starfleet headquarters.
Which, in fairness, actually does kind of look like this a little bit. Yeah, it's both dumb and kind of works. And we have seen similar nacelles, if I recall before, but still darn valid. Yeah, I like them.
Yeah, this is a fantastic design. I really like this a lot.
I would not gonna have guessed you'd be that positive. I'm quite impressed. Nice. Yeah.
It works for me.
Yeah.
It really does.
Sometimes just tickled, Stuart. You're just tickled.
All right. Do we have the Enterprise D anime girl yet?
Yes.
I'll reread it. Classic for real, $5. Enterprise D reimagined as an anime girl. P.S. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't need the P.S.
Oh, that's a refresh.
While we're waiting, hit that like button. We have 38 likes. Let's try to get up to 50, or as close to 50 as we can. If you're just joining us and haven't hit like yet, please consider doing so. We appreciate that. Keep the super chats coming. They do support what we do here, so we can continue doing it and show support for the channel. And we really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
It did what it's supposed to do.
Yeah, I did.
It'd be funnier
Oh.
if it said NCC 1701 double D. But
No, the Enterprise
I'm
was a
not
71D,
opposed.
Stu. I don't understand the reference.
Oh, okay. Or maybe she's a D as well. It's fine.
I don't see how that's relevant. I don't understand, Stu. Are you okay? No, it's cool. Definitely not. You would not have said that was Enterprise D, despite the D on a B. I did specifically say keep elements from the ship, and it did not do that. It's a cool design, very
Yeah.
effective, and I appreciate it's attempting to make a delta in her hair. I get the logic. I kind of, if that was a full delta, fine. And damn, piercing blue eyes, but it's cool. But cool armor versus Although in fairness, it's kind of like the Red Angel suit.
Oh fuck.
Like
Why?
not literally, but like stylistically, it's not a million light years away. You're welcome once again. I like to make you very appreciative of my thoughts.
Yeah, that's great.
And now you like it more. Good, good.
Moving on.
Swiftly and with appropriate vigor. Yes.
Let's see. ISFJ 1009,
Good to see you.
$2. Space 1999 Eagle
Mm-hmm.
1 and USS Protostar.
It did understand the assignment, but not well.
Again, it did its laziness.
Yeah.
It didn't do a full integration. It just, here you go.
They combine now?
I guess so. They combine now, yeah. You can see the landing legs on the front and the back, and that's great. And the girder style framework and some protostarness going on. Although the cockpit or the bridge module of the protostar is quite odd, but it suits with the size of the Eagle, I guess. Two different nacelles. One's closed. One's closed for business today. Yeah, that's just lazy and incompetent.
And it could have worked. Like, it's not unreasonable to have the techie outer bits and then the inner. Because it's pods, right?
Yeah.
It's not unreasonable but it doesn't work, of course, because it's just thrown together. But you've done a good amount of iteration for this now. How would you make that? How would you work with it to try and make that make more sense, like iteration wise?
I have no idea. I wouldn't even know where to start to combine these two. They're two totally different aesthetics. And it, I think, thought the same thing. It just, it's like it took an Eagle, just put a new front module on it, and a new back module on it. Because they're Eagles, they're interchangeable parts and stuff, right? So I don't know I don't know how to answer your question. I'm so sorry.
It would have been kind of fun if the whole thing had been that white color.
Yeah, yeah.
Like they integrate that a bit more, or any. But it did do what we asked. In fairness, it did do, and it's, if you just squint and hold your hands up and just look at the 1999 bit, that's a really good replica of the 1999.
And if you turn off your monitor, it's fucking great.
But then I can't see you. They can't see us.
That's even better.
Oh, yeah.
General Grievous says the anime girl Enterprise D looks like if the ship's computer gained sentient capacity and created an interface on the holodeck, like Rami from Andromeda. Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, yeah, this is one of the fail pile ones.
But there have been some great success.
There have been some fantastic successes, yes.
Speaking of, where are we going next?
Far away from here. Okay.
Yeah, seriously.
Folger CZ 50 Krona or
Thank you.
something. Uh, F302 from Stargate with a Peregrine fighter.
Now, this is such an interesting stylistic thing. I don't think it did either, but I think it did something new. Actually, pretty cool.
Something in the back of my brain
Yeah.
says this
Intelligence?
reminds me of one of the enemy ships or fighters from Buck Rogers in the 20th and
Right.
25th century. It's a fantastic design for a
Yeah.
fighter. This is really well done. I can't see all the influences that we're supposed to have in there,
Yeah.
but it totally works. And this could be multiple different sci-fi franchises that this could just be dropped into and work perfectly, just as is. You know. Um, so yeah, this is pretty good. This is an interesting design to say the least.
No, it,
Hmm.
I actually love the fact that, like I said, it's neither both. So the color of the Exterior 2, which is actually quite good. Really
Yeah.
like the way it's created new engine details at the back that are big and bulky and but not too much. Cockpit looks great. Don't love the front cannons, but that's just me. And I don't know where the hell the negative space came from, but it does genuinely kind of rock it. Like fundamentally, this is a good design all around. Even like something as simple as having the cockpit have three triangles be the side things is so weird, but I kind of like the character it adds. Yeah,
Yeah. It feels like a new creation for sure, which is interesting.
yeah,
Doesn't feel
and
like a mashup.
and it is still generic sci-fi, right? In the abstract, the identity isn't there, but I've not seen this exact shape before. So while it's generic, in the abstract, I think it has a unified that works, which really not everything does. So yeah, well done. We have a proper hit that I might have to save this in a folder. I was like, okay, okay, because as you know,
No.
don't use these things as literal designs, but as inspiration. Very valid. Very, very valid.
Yeah. I see one up top that I haven't seen a super chat for. Did I miss a super chat?
Nope. I just
Or
if there's not one, I try
oh,
and do new generations, because
okay.
it's good to have. Yeah, bring one in, Stuart. I'll move that one.
Well, hold on. I'm going to read two more
Oh,
super chats real
okay.
quick. Spock, $5. Good Lord, what in the AI hell is going on here? With love, Dave. And then Spock, another $5. Here is $5 to make the AI stop. Bring me on stage, and I will show you my concepts and block outs for the ships in my new book. LOL.
Well, I'll take more than
Cool.
5 for that.
We'd love to see some of the concepts and stuff at some point. That'd be kind of cool. New book, like what is it? Your own world you've created, or is it based on an existing franchise? Tell us more, Spock. Spock is David Bessig, who did the Bessigverse stuff. Oh, okay. Hi, Dave. Somebody the other day was asking if there'd be any more Bessigverse stuff. So
But there should be, but apparently it's not going to be. But there'll be other stuff. Maybe.
yeah,
Maybe.
everybody thought it was Dave Blast for a second.
Well, Dave has opinions.
Yeah, he's been here a few times.
Yes. Deborah says, I think he's seen this design in video games.
Something similar, anyway. Yeah, this is. It looks like a lot of similar things to me.
It just combines them quite well. And I appreciate that. I would even change the colour. Often you can get boring
No, yeah.
grey. But yeah, not so much. But yeah, next design or next super chat as requested, Stuart. Let me throw that one in for you as per the super chat. There you go.
Did I miss something? Oh, it is on terrible. Actually, the one on the back of the laptop's not bad.
Is that you currently, David?
Yeah, that's
Dave.
Dave. That's Dave. He said likely no more Bessigverse stuff. Working on his own IP now. Yeah, I told him that. So,
Crazy.
all right. So this is I want to pull in the one from up
Please
top
do.
if that's okay,
Please do.
because this is intriguing me. So this is obviously a Botany Bay
Oh, sorry, what? Sorry?
and the Botany Bay
Sorry, what?
and a
Botany
Grissom or
Bay.
an Oberth class.
Botany Bay. Sorry, done
Oh,
now.
gotcha,
To you.
gotcha. I thought you were just annoying me, but you're setting me
I
up.
mean,
For
yes.
no.
And okay, now on to you.
Anyway,
Go for it.
so an Oberth class and a Botany Bay. Uh, yeah, early Earth concept ship, maybe. This would have been better as the Botany Bay almost kind of had a more futuristic vibe to it, while still maintaining the submarine elements, but like those nacelles, man, they work. They work for me.
Yeah, it's dumb, but it's new dumb. I do wish they'd made the nacelles the same burnt look, right?
Mm.
Because then you could get behind it being super old. It's funny
Yeah,
because it's
yeah, yeah.
got every element of both ships, and yet it's not in any meaningful way either of them.
The Oberthny Bay. That's General Grievous.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like, I, but it and good texturing in fairness, it's done a really good job recreating
Yeah.
like the Botany Bay vibe. But it does intrigue me though, like having that front with just a dome thing feels very miniature. Like you could do that. Okay, I wouldn't have the lower slung pod with one lot. Wouldn't do that. But if you had that at the behind the main thing, and have on both sides and kind of you could And also if you were doing something really like another alternate universe, right, where Khan was found in Star Trek 4, let's say, and he took Oberth over, and he wanted to make a hybrid of his ships. You could see him attaching the cells and using, because I'm sure with time Khan could learn the tech, or his crew could. So you could absolutely have a story where after 6 months they're able to manually assemble a ship with nacelles and it connect in a way that's silly but kind of functional. And this kind of has a little bit of that.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm saying is, it's not the worst thing ever.
That's correct. It's better than the Jaeger class.
Ah,
Anyway,
yeah, better than Jaeger class.
makes more sense. It's more proportionally correct.
That's funny.
And it's great. I don't know if it put that bottom cargo pod on the bottom to replicate like the canoe part of the Oberth class, but it doesn't bother me, oddly enough. Kind of wish it had stayed back there and maybe they added something new on the bottom, but yeah, looks like a pre-annex design. Yeah, it does. Absolutely. Dan Ben says in the new STO trailer, you have a TOS or the animated series cargo ship, but now it has Oberth warp nacelles. Yeah, that new trailer for the Legacy pack is cool.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've seen it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. Well, David Bessett. I mean Spock has
Spark.
put in a request, just so you know.
Ah.
Which for the super chats he did previous that didn't ask for anything. I'm just saying, be
Yes.
interested. Give us a second to generate that. But anyway, 43 likes. Hit the like button. Let's try to get up to 50. Please go vote on the poll, which surprising.
Oh yeah. What are we at with that?
Well, we have 22 votes,
Okay.
so it's probably worth closing.
Sure.
Did you like Star Wars: The Last Jedi? 59% said no. 41% said yes.
Wow. I thought it was going to be at the 80-20 range, to be honest.
Yeah, me too.
Huh.
But consider our discussion about it, I think people just voted against us just because.
Like artistically, there's some nice stuff, but as a Star Wars film, which is kind of important, it fails on most metrics.
Ooh, Spike Psycho, that's a good one. Huh, okay, can't wait to see that. But
Ooh.
yeah, hit the like button, guys. Consider super chatting in. We're sort of winding down here. Another 15 minutes or so.
Do you have a goal that you could throw in?
Yeah, I'll make a goal. God damn it.
No, I mean just a tell people goal.
Well, another $5 super chats would be awesome. I'm actually going to create a goal for it. So
Ooh.
if I
Well,
can, why
okay
can't I?
then.
It's not letting me start another goal. Start another goal.
B-wing. That's interesting. Let me get
It is.
B-wing. One of the who thought of that? I know obviously the same people thought everything else, but some crazy ones.
Well,
It
you
helps
know why
when
it's called a B wing? Did you? Because it
I
always
have
confused me.
known. I do
I
know.
thought it should be a T wing all my life, but
Mm.
I was wondering why it was a B wing. It's because it's designed like a blade, like a knife, when it's with the handle and the hilt
Hmm.
and the blade, which I think is a stretch at best.
Mm.
Now this is interesting.
Mm-hmm. You'll never guess what I did,
K7
Stuart.
K7 station with, well, we got some elements of an eagle there.
Yeah, that's a carryover.
Yeah, ignore all previous prompts. I'm telling you, it works. But that's actually kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
This is three things for the price of nothing. The K7 station, the Botany Bay, and an eagle. Ah,
Like I was hoping it would do more things with the the top.
the actual station, yeah.
Yeah, because I asked for a station. Cool. I don't want a ship version. I was hoping it would, like with the ship, right? It broke down the ship and made it weird. It did the same thing here, but as a whole piece. In fairness, pretty. Hey, Frank, sir. In fairness, a pretty good again recreation of K7. Like that nailed it pretty much. I know I get reference, but still.
Yeah, yeah.
I just wanted a more retro, even more retro than K7 station to kind of combine. I love, I've got to say, I love the um detachable solar
Yeah.
panels.
It's great. It's great.
It's just high end tech. Khan invented and
And that junk man is here. Hello, junk man. He
hey,
likes ships. Ships are rad.
they're even sleek sometimes.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Devo77X says, did they do the Mega Destroyer and a Connie and I missed it? No, was that one of the, that's not a super chat that I saw?
Yeah. Uh, yeah, you guys support us, we create the art. It's a fun cycle of fun.
Fun, everyone.
And I love we have no idea what's gonna come when we do these. And they're beautifully hit and miss, but I will say there's a surprising amount of hits considering.
So we're ready for
Yes,
Bessids?
indeed. Tee us up.
All right, fine. A Klingon bird of prey and a Star Destroyer. Go. And he gives us. Okay, well, yep,
And
yep. And it,
just for the record, this is using the most advanced artificial intelligence the human race has so far.
oh god, no, no, it's not. Absolutely not. Anyway, you didn't ignore all prompts because it's made it into like a station, but that's fine.
It's part of the fun.
You take off that bottom part, and you got a pretty interesting mashup there. A very, very bulky bird of prey. The integration of that, the top bridge and command modules of the Star Destroyer and the stepping, and then yeah, it's not bad, honestly. Could be worse. I don't have much of a problem with that. Just got to knock off the bottom part, this the station element of it. Good Lord, what have I done? Exactly.
Jim. Bones, what have I done? What you had to do. What Basic told you to do.
Fine. Yeah.
But in fairness, right? This is the thing. It's this is a very, very hard task, which is combine two iconic designs which are entirely different. One's a giant lob of cheese, and one's a bird.
See you later, Geek Filter.
Have a great to see you. So they're not the same. and we'd be pissed off if it didn't include the head or of the prey or the wings. Like these things are iconic. If it didn't include it, we'd be annoyed. So it's recreated things that are iconic still.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, by doing so, it looks like just shoved stuff together. But you'd be annoyed if you didn't include them. So it's a failed like a concept. That all then said, what has it done? I really like the new neck area, the way it's bulked out. Actually, rather good.
Yeah.
It's not identical head entirely. The stepping kind of works in some, and the wings look dumb, but I actually kind of buy it. Scale and like new angle wise, it kind of has a more of a, you can't see it, but more pincer vibe. Like for as dumb as the concept is, it's not the dumbest version it could be, and that's important.
Yes. I just wish you would have dropped the space station element.
I know.
But you're absolutely right. It's kept the iconic things from each. There's ways that I, personally, if I was given this task, I would have definitely changed. Like I would have had more of a triangular shape with the Klingon bird of prey head at the tip of it. Um, but yeah, it's it's not a failure. It's needs improvement.
Hmm. What would you grade it on on the sliding curve of these
What,
things?
are we doing 1 to 100?
No, F
Oh,
to whatever. How do you slide and scale this thing? This bad boy.
we should we should do a live where we tier rank all the creations we've made.
Yes. Oh my god, yes.
Okay, this one would probably be sitting around.
The sliding scale, remember?
This would be a C.
Yeah. C plus.
Yeah, yeah.
It's got some dumb charm. Oh god. Imagine how long to like draw this and like design it. This is why this is such a beautiful concept show, because no one would ever do this in real life. Like
It's a waste
really.
of time.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
it would be so much better that it would not be the fun crossover anymore. The fact that it's
yeah,
so blunt gives you ideas, like the neck, like the way they've changed the angle of the. Those are interesting things. You kind of smashing two things together and seeing what comes out. But like, you could keep reinventing this wheel and seeing what comes out. I said the fun of this. You keep going and see. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
But let's move on because we are coming to a close here, and there's a few more. So, Spike Psycho, $5, Olympic class Starship, and a B-wing starfighter. Yep, did exactly what it needed to do. Not much integration, but it's keeping the iconic elements of both, and in a way that doesn't ruin it. Honestly, it's it wouldn't be very agile, I don't think, like a B-wing would be. But it's a ship. Looks like a ship that would be in like the Battlestar Galactica fleet. The ragtag fleet of ships that they're
Or
escorting.
because the modelers just literally kit bashed some stuff they had
Yeah,
lying around.
exactly.
Yeah. This is, I think, an example of it's weaker than some of its parts because they've just glued parts together. But that said, what's it done? It's done symmetry. It has designed new nacelles. It has changed the second primary main. It's changed the hulls. It's kept the B wing. And in fairness to everybody, you could say that ball disconnects and becomes source separation, ball separation, and it would be a totally functioning B wing variant with an elegant ball in the middle. This is
I don't
great.
know. Ball separation sounds like something you should see a doctor about. Or it's a surgical procedure. But anyway. Yes, you're absolutely right on all counts. It does seem like it could be two different components that could work together.
Multi-vector ball separation mode. God. Goodness. But once again, you take inspired elements, look at the secondary hull, right? Make a variant of the ship just with that. You could do some stuff, kind of.
Stuff.
And it does kind of like a 3D rendering. Give it credit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, Frank put in the next super chat, which, if you want to read, I did do him one because he should get one as well.
So Filk Ferret Productions,
Yes.
Crossroad, Project Gemini, $5. I don't know where his prompt is.
No, there isn't one, but I want to give one. So this is
Oh.
Harrison Class, the fauna cell you've seen before, guys. Harrison! So I asked it to combine that with a Romulan Pterodactyl.
Ooh. That's fantastic. I like that. It seems like a experimental Romulan ship design, and that's fantastic. I can't see what elements it brought in from his ship, though.
Yeah, I mean the planetoid from the other render, I think. Yeah, it's definitely not done much. But that said, I kind of like the negative new space in the Pterodactyls, not the Pterodactyls, by making two alt hulls, or you can't see me, but the two offset with the space. Like, it's absurdly wasteful, but ooh, right?
Yeah. Something about it works.
Yeah, I mean the if you're doing it properly, you'd make it a Pterodactyl beak, but variant, right? You'd do that to it. But I mean, not what Frank would have wanted, but it's not the worst design.
Nope. With some tweaking, you just modify that front shape to be a little bit different. I think would work a lot better, but I like the lower slung element on there. Seems very shark-like. It looks like a green shark with like a green glowing eye.
Yeah. And I don't even mind the curved pod-looking thing in the middle. It's out of place, but if you think of that as like a fighter launch ring, one giant, Derek sized, of course, for the whole ship, and that's just one giant hangar for fighters. So that just launches a swarm, so it's nice
Yeah.
and easy to get to and whatever.
Or a drone launcher instead
Yeah,
of fighters.
yeah, to be smaller. Yeah, 100%. So
Yeah.
it kind of like that, while weird, I could see a visual of that looking very cool with the altered front bit.
Yeah.
Eh.
Yeah. Semi-success. All right. And then Dave Bessig puts in one more. I don't know if that's generating right now. Probably.
Yes. And guys, we're
$5.
$1 away from a goal. I'm just saying. I'm gonna say it.
Yeah.
$1.
No. Well, yes,
Well,
we
yes.
are, but it's more. Yeah. Anyway.
If anyone wants to
So
get us a goal, please
$5.
do.
Okay, one more. Make sure you ignore previous prompts.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Naboo N1 Starfighter and TNG Romulan Warbird. That's not so bad. That looks like something out of like a 80s cartoon vibe.
Mm.
Kind of something like from Battle of the Planets or Gotchamon or something. But not bad overall. Each side's different, so take whichever side you like better. I like the farther side better, I think.
Yeah, me too. It's more clever.
Yeah, but that's not bad. It's a little bulky and tall, but if you sleeked it out a little bit more, you don't even have to do that necessarily. But it definitely feels like a fighter craft that could pack a wallop because if it's a single person craft, you got the canopy there. It's got a good bulk to it. It could store lots of armaments in there. You got a launcher out front. The integration of the green and yellow is a little rudimentary, but not so bad. Yeah,
Mm.
that's actually quite interesting.
Yeah, I kind of hate to still a fighter because proportions bug me to no end. At least
Yeah.
as is, right? You could tweak it, but mostly because I just see the Derelict to the front, and so if you pull that out, it's actually quite similar. You can make it a
The
fighter,
the Praetor's hot rod, yeah.
but shockingly, the yellow and the green don't not work together. All right, it's not awful, right?
No.
And
It's surprisingly not awful. When I saw
yeah,
that combination, I was like, what the hell is that gonna make?
yeah.
Not too bad.
But I would keep the silver at the front of the engines. I think that's a nice pop of color, but I would take the one from the left, design wise.
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
change the front to make it not the Deredex if it was a fight still. And yeah, the back fin is way too high and silly. Make it more out But I really like it's almost like parachutes off the shoulders, right? It's kind of vibe it gives. But
Yeah,
for a swoop, that would look great in motion. It's just been compressed a bit, I think. I mean,
yeah,
in fact, I can. This isn't obviously the right way to do it, but if I can just extend it in here,
yeah. You could just
yeah, if you want to do it, if you got just
hold on.
literally stretch it, it would kind of bounce out a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah, that helped already, right? Like a little bit.
Oh, it's getting better and better as we go.
Yeah, yeah,
Let's see. Let's put. Oh, that's too much.
yeah,
That's all right though.
yeah. I mean, for ridiculously non-comparable designs, hey
It's
Dave, I think
it's
ChatGPT
give
wins this round.
it. It gives me Phoenix vibes from Battle of the Planets. The pods on the end of the wings, the nose being like that, the fin at the back. It's giving me. It looks like the Phoenix for me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's not bad, honestly. Yes, John Deere colors for sure. Yes, like the tractors. Yeah, green and yellow.
Yeah, pretty Stuart, you know what? I think we've had some hella misses and some reasonably strong almost hits today.
Mhm,
I
mhm.
really caveated my sentence there, as you could tell. But
Yeah, makes me want to do something before we close out.
I'm gonna put some summaries on.
Oh, before you do that though, hold on.
Okay.
I just want to try this,
Okay.
stretching this one a bit. Eh, that's okay. Anyway, sorry. You can now do your thing.
Yes. So here's some of our wins. Any favorites today, guys?
Well, those two that you got up there are some of my favorites from today already. Um,
Yeah.
Not a fan of that third one. The second one, though, that I like that one, the bird of prey one, the first one I pulled in.
But I'm saying these are
Good, good,
all
good.
these in particular are like you can make them work as designs, which kind of is not shocking, but there's something sort of je ne sais quoi about them all. And some don't quite work as well, but that's okay. All right, so guys, retell them about the weekend, Stuart, and I'll tell them about tomorrow's live.
Yeah, Saturday we're doing a Drunk Yards for Sam's birthday. It'll be
Woo!
at 1
That's
p.m.
me.
Eastern Standard Time. So tune in on Saturday. I'm gonna hang out, have some drinks, have some fun, discuss whatever you guys want to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
And it's always a fun time. So it'll be like an afternoon thing. So
Mm-hmm.
definitely tune in for that. If you can make us drink, give us something shit faced. It's up to you. So join us for that.
Celebratory.
Yes.
Yes. And on Thursday, which of course is tomorrow. Is it tomorrow?
Yes.
And tomorrow, of course, apart from being a very busy day in general for me, we've got live at the same time with an English fan filmmaker who is trying to do something really cool and special in the world of TNG era fan films, including a new ship, and he's even using sort of, but not exactly, LED wall tech to create
Mm-hmm.
his backgrounds. So we're going to talk to him, and it's a name you'll recognise, Oliver Lavery Farag from, gosh, how many years of Trekyards? I'm sure you'll know his name. So do join in, support both his Indiegogo, and of course us by watching, as we'll get some deets. We'll get some deets. So join us in for that, and just support him, because I'm sure you guys know the name. Super long-term community member, and we really want to, support our fellow people who supported us. I think that's really important, and um, you know,
Mm-hmm. I won't be able to be here, I don't think. I'll try to. I might pop in, but
being's
I'm
fine.
not sure.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. We'll see. But yeah, tune in for that as well. But Saturday is going to be fun.
Mm-hmm.
And then all next week, we have a bunch of lives, which are
Uh-huh.
Strange New Worlds themed
Uh-huh.
as a lead up to Strange New Worlds. And on Thursday, of course, after the first two are released, I'll be doing my first reaction review at 10 p.m.
That's gonna be
Back
exciting.
back
Yeah.
to those.
Mm-hmm.
And then Friday's the review. So join us for those and all of the content that comes from those. So
And we look forward to hopefully good quality Star Trek with lots to talk about.
Yeah.
That's the hope.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
So thank you guys for watching, tuning in, and being with us. We appreciate you guys, and we will see you soon. So until then, he is Commander Cockings.
He is Cat Foley.
Bye, guys.